Welcome Introduction. Welcome back to Elite Mindset AI Hub. If you are seeking absolute power, mental mastery, and the dangerous laws of high-level human strategy, you have arrived at the perfect destination. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most feared, misunderstood, and lethal weapons in human psychology. Most people destroy their own futures by speaking too much. Today, you will learn why the elite do the exact opposite. Prepare your mind, leave all distractions behind, and let's begin. The silent predator. The most dangerous predator in the jungle does not roar. It doesn't make a single sound. It watches from the shadows. It calculates every movement, and it waits for the perfect, most devastating moment to strike. Noise is a biological sign of weakness. It is a desperate, pathetic plea for validation and attention. In a world full of people screaming to be noticed, desperately exposing their plans, their fragile emotions, and their deep-seated insecurities, the truly dangerous choose absolute silence. They don't react, they don't explain, they don't defend their honor. They just observe. Look around you in society today. Weak systems teach you that the loudest person in the room is the leader. They tell you that charisma means dominating the airwaves. But in the hidden realms of high-level power, dark psychology, and elite military and corporate strategy, the loudest person is nothing more than an easy target. They are a book waiting to be read and exploited. Silence is not the absence of power. It is the ultimate, purest, and most concentrated form of emotional and psychological control. It turns you into an enigma, a deep, dark, terrifying puzzle that people will mentally destroy themselves trying to solve. Today, we are unlocking the forbidden blueprint of absolute silence. We will break down exactly why silence terrifies the human mind, how it shatters an opponent's confidence, and the precise, unyielding dark rules you must execute to dominate any situation, any conversation, and any enemy. If you are ready to stop being predictable and start claiming your true power, listen closely to every single second of this masterclass. The laws we are about to reveal are not for the weak-minded or the emotionally fragile. Section 1. The weapon of psychological void. Human beings are biologically and evolutionarily hardwired to absolutely hate emptiness. From our primitive days, we have feared the unknown. We have feared the pitch-black night, and above all, we fear social silence. When a social interaction or a conversation suddenly drops into dead silence, human anxiety skyrockets instantly. The brain enters a state of panic, sensing a hidden threat. The average person's ego will do or say absolutely anything just to fill that empty space, because their self-esteem cannot handle the sudden tension. Masters of dark psychology abuse this fundamental human flaw every single day of their lives. Imagine you are questioning someone, negotiating a critical deal, or simply having a disagreement, and the answer they give you is weak, evasive, or an outright lie. The amateur will immediately start arguing. They will raise their voice, show their anger, display their suspicion, and in doing so, they give away their emotional state. But the dark master does absolutely nothing. They don't interrupt, they don't argue, they don't gesture, they just stare. A cold, unblinking, intensely focused gaze combined with absolute, heavy, suffocating silence creates an unbearable psychological pressure in the room. To break this agonizing mental tension, the other person's brain will literally betray them. Their subconscious mind will force them to start talking automatically to comfort themselves. They will begin to over-explain their actions, confess their deepest secrets, justify their lies, and completely expose their hidden motives without you having to ask a single follow-up question. By doing absolutely nothing, by simply withholding your voice, you force your opponent to defeat themselves. You don't have to extract the truth. Their own crippling anxiety will force them to hand it to you on a silver platter. Section 2. Emotional immunity and the power flip. When someone insults you or tries to provoke you into an argument, they are checking your price. They want to see how easily your emotions can be controlled. If you get angry, you lose instantly. But when you meet their insults with absolute stone-cold silence, you freeze them in their tracks. When you look someone directly in the eyes and say absolutely nothing, you send a humiliating message. Your words are completely beneath me. Suddenly, the power dynamic flips. The attacker feels childish, exposed, and deeply insecure. Silence makes you unreadable, and humans are naturally terrified of what they cannot predict. Section 3. The strategic withdrawal and scarcity. True power is built on the law of scarcity. The more you speak, the more common and predictable you appear. The less you speak, the more authoritative your presence becomes. History's greatest leaders never spoke endlessly about their plans. They held back. When you become known as someone who speaks rarely but with precision, every single word you choose to release carries the weight of an anchor. Your words stop being cheap noise and become absolute law. Furthermore, when you strategically withdraw your voice from people who take you for granted, you create a psychological vacuum. They will begin to obsessively wonder what you are thinking and planning in secret. Section 4. The 5 dark rules of engagement. To weaponize this strategy in your daily life, you must strictly follow the dark rules of engagement. Rule number 1. The 4-second rule. Before responding to any provocative statement or intense question, pause. Look the person in the eyes, silently count to 4 in your head, and only then deliver your calculated answer. This brief pause instantly drains the emotional heat from the room and makes your next words heavy and authoritative. Rule number 2. Never interrupt your enemy when they are making a mistake. When an adversary is talking, let them speak. Even if they are lying or bragging, let them drain their energy completely. The longer they talk without interruption, the more mistakes they will make, and the more cards they will reveal. Rule number 3. Always say less than necessary. Answer questions efficiently, then stop speaking immediately. Let them sit with your short answer. The less you speak, the less ammunition you provide for others. Rule number 4. The silent walk away. When a boundary is crossed or a deal is unacceptable, do not shout. Simply pack your things and walk out in absolute silence. A silent departure communicates terrifying finality and self-respect. Rule number 5. Master the unreadable gaze. Your eyes must never reveal anger or fear. Keep your facial expressions completely neutral. If your face is a blank stone wall, they will experience true mental terror. Section 5. The isolation protocol. Silence is a lifestyle strategy for the elite. The world tries to pull you into useless drama. Every time you engage with lower-level noise, you bleed power. Implementing the isolation protocol means choosing who gets access to your voice and mind. Build your success in the absolute dark. Let your results be the only noise you make. Section 6. Silent negotiation. In business, silence is the ultimate closer. The first person to speak after an offer is placed usually loses. When you state your terms, go completely silent, let the offer hang in the air. Every second that passes forces them to accept your terms out of pure anxiety. Section 7. Shattering the Narcissist. Toxic individuals and narcissists feed entirely on your emotional reactions. The single most devastating blow you can deal to a manipulator is the absolute ghosting of your presence. When you cut them off completely, you starve their ego and drive them into psychological madness. The silent recap. Before we close, let us summarize the dark blueprint we uncovered today. Remember these core pillars. First, the psychological void forces others to defeat themselves. Second, emotional immunity flips the power dynamic against your attackers. Third, strategic withdrawal uses scarcity to make your words absolute law. And finally, remember the 5 rules. The 4-second pause, never interrupting an enemy, saying less than necessary, the silent walk away, and the unreadable gaze. Conclusion and outro. Power does not make noise. True power sits quietly in the shadows, watching everything and controlling the environment without saying a single word. Noise is the weapon of the weak. Silence is the fortress of the strong. Stop reacting to cheap provocations and turn yourself into the ultimate enigma. Thank you for watching and staying with us until the very end. If you are ready to claim your power and master the dark laws of human nature, subscribe to Elite Mindset AI Hub right now. Leave a comment below with the word silent if you are ready to dominate your reality. Until next time, thank you for your support. Stay dangerous, stay calculated, and stay silent.